external urgency versus internal motivation. So the old way of doing things is really based on creating external pressure and urgency. This looks like creating the fear of missing out, right? Just trying to pressure someone by the fear of missing out. Really thinking about what others will think of you. So external is like, well, what is your partner going to say to you when they see that you don't succeed another time, or you're such a failure? Or what are your parents going to think of you? You're such a failure, right? Like that's external, is what are other people going to think of you? And how are other people going to judge you, right? Or external urgency is doing something out of a place of needing other people's approval, not for your own highest good, but because you just feel like you have to, you're obligated to, or you just want other people's approval. The other thing that this shows up as is trying to use someone's insecurities against them on a sales call. Again, gross, disgusting. You like, no, we're not doing that. But, I think that unfortunately comes up where it's like, oh, how much longer are you going to be failing? And like, what is your friends going to think about you? And look at how, oh, you're insecure about like, your job. Like, I'm going to dig into like, it's just too much. And here's the thing, no amount of discounts or countdowns or bonuses are going to help if your offer isn't any good, right? So at the end of the day, you need to have a great offer. None of this stuff is going to matter. External pressure isn't where your dream clients enroll from. Okay, so that place of external pressure, that's not where perfect fit clients join from. That person might be desperate. That person might, not be making the best decision for them. They might be completely motivated by what other people think about them. That's not the highest level place that your dream client enrolls from energetically, right? So internal motivation is the opposite of that. Internal motivation is internal, intrinsic, it's inherent, it's inside out, right? It's the inside your heart of your client. So that's what that looks like, is that your client sees the highest potential in themselves and you hold space for that. So when someone comes to me and they're like, I'm stuck at 6 figures, but I know I have the potential to be a 7-figure business owner and be a CEO. I just don't know how to get there. I'm like, I can so see that for you. Like I see that potential. I'm holding space for that. I want to help you get there, right? So it's seeing the potential instead of bashing someone and being like, you're always going to fail, right? This is your client stepping into their next level with excitement and motivation. They're excited for the outcome. They can't wait to get started. They're like on fire. They're ready to go, right? This is your client seeing their 2.0 future vision of their self and taking a bold step towards it, being like, you know what? I'm willing to put in the work. I am excited to make this investment. I can see my future and I'm going to go towards that, even though it's scary, even though it's, nerve-wracking, even though I've never done this before, that's okay, right? It's coming at it from this place of excitement and readiness and being in your power, right? And it's like your client has a problem that they need to solve, and they know that it needs attention now. Just like me with my speaking engagement that I need to prepare for, right? Like I have a deadline. I have to get working on it. That's a real thing, right? And it's all about your client realizing the urgency, priority, and opportunity cost for themselves, right? And feeling it for themselves, not just because you're pressuring them. So here's some questions that can help you spark internal urgency, right? Think about how your program or solution solves multiple problems at the same time, or can make other problems irrelevant, just like we talked about in the high ticket hook thing, okay? Think about, why does this need to become their number one priority? A lot of times we see people saying, well, I'm going to spend the next 6 months like building up my Pinterest and launching a podcast and creating a ton of free content and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, you're prioritizing the wrong things. Like for the results that you want, you're actually going down the wrong path. Let's reprioritize where you should spend your time, right? What's the best case scenario, right? Really sparking that like inspiration. What is the best case scenario that this could look like in a few months, right? And thinking about the timeline. So like I said, if I have a deadline that I have to get something done by December, I need to get started now. So like, for example, some of our clients help their clients with physical product businesses, and December, the holidays, is going to be wild for their sales. But successful e-commerce businesses or brick and mortar businesses or product-based businesses are already planning their holiday sales now, right? So you got to show the timeline and be like, hey, if you want to launch that product for the holidays, you actually have to start getting it organized today. And here's the timeline of how that's going to look. And just really tapping into what are those initial powerful shifts or changes that could happen just in the first few days or weeks of being in your program, and getting people excited about that, right? Like, oh, I'm going to join and I'm going to be in an amazing group and I'm going to start working on my thing. And in the next few weeks, I'm going to feel totally different about myself. Like, those are all exciting shifts. Okay, so the fix here is learn how to talk about your program benefits, results, and solutions in a way that people are just genuinely excited to start right away. So if you don't know how to talk about your program, you don't know how to talk about the outcome or the promise or the hook, this is going to be a problem, because we need to talk about your program in a way that gets people excited.